Hello, Magic Makers. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Sagittarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this reading is for you. A transmission through the Serpent Gate, a page in the Codex, and perhaps a message you were meant to remember. Before we begin, please hit the like button. Every like is a torch lit along the spiral road. Every comment is a sigil etched into the vault of echoes. And if this message resonates, consider subscribing to the channel. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, these readings are not predictions. They are transmissions, and I am merely the messenger. The meaning is yours to uncover. Open the temple within and listen for what echoes back, because the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And the Three of Pentacles. You are someone who has a very strong work ethic, for one thing. I think you also have a deep understanding of how things work. Yeah. And I think that it allows you to have like a true appreciation for other people. Yeah. I feel like you're a good team player right now. Maybe not always. Maybe it's not your favorite thing to do. But right now I think that you appreciate other people and how they're contributing to what you're trying to do in life. Whether it's at work, at home, at school, it doesn't really matter. Understanding the complexity of life and having appreciation for, just in a fundamental way, having an appreciation for whoever does the work that keeps the lights running in the house. You know what I mean? Like all that infrastructure that we sort of take for granted sometimes, yeah. I feel like it gives you a deeper appreciation for the people around you, specifically that you work with and that you interact with on a regular basis, yeah. I think that you're somebody who, you're probably involved in some sort of complex work of your own, okay? And I wonder if you're involved in a project now that there's been a difficulty like getting the ball rolling or getting things kind of off the ground, okay? And this is where that sort of teamwork is really going to help out right now, okay? I always look at the Three of Pentacles as a system where if everything is functioning properly, something's going to rise up perfectly. But if anything is not functioning together, if something is out of harmony, it's not going to rise perfectly. It's going to just kind of flop over, yeah. So I think you're somebody that you feel like you have like a technical knowledge of things. Like you understand the inner workings of systems or maybe mechanics or something like that, yeah. Let's put this card into a little bit of context. Let's see what's going on for you in your life right now. We have a Seven of Swords. So it does feel like there's a little bit of a blockage, or there's a little bit of resistance or even a little bit of doubt going on. Then we have the Eight of Pentacles. We have a Knight of Cups. We have the Wheel of Fortune. That's very, very good. And, oh, yes, a Three of Cups. So there is just a little bit of a blockage here. This is a little bit of a test or a challenge, and I think that there are several different pathways that you could take right now, okay? And it's up to you to kind of choose exactly what method or what avenue is going to bring about, well, this wonderful celebration, okay? So there is something for you to sort of figure out, yeah. Ooh, a Six of Cups as well. We have a Tower. We have a Ten of Wands. We have that goat energy, that devil energy. Yeah, so I feel like there's been a delay, and I feel like that delay is breaking wide open. The energy is clearing out, okay? Spirit is showing you doors that are opening, I think, very, very quickly. Yeah, so whatever has been, whatever you've been slowly working on here with that Eight of Pentacles, that patience, your patience is going to pay off right now in unexpected ways. It's going to be a momentum builder. Things are going to harmonize. We have a 3, and a 6, okay? Because of your patience, because of your willingness to take in, let's say, positive, constructive criticism. And I think that's one reason why you appreciate the people around you right now, because it feels like y'all are a family. And it feels like they're able to approach you and give you their honest kind of opinions and their ideas, and you don't take offense to that. You're able to listen and hear that. And I think that's very important, because that's allowing you then to get a bigger picture and to get some other ideas and to figure things out in a much easier way than if you were, I don't know, the kind of person that like didn't want to hear any advice, didn't want to hear anybody else's opinions, and that you were going to figure it out on your own. I feel like you're very open to the brainstorming with everybody, And again, work, home, school, doesn't matter where this is taking place, but it's important that you're good at listening and accepting that kind of constructive criticism. Now, not people that are being mean or anything like that, but the other opinions that people have around you. Okay, you got a lot of good cards here. The momentum is building for sure. After this kind of breakthrough, the patience that's paying off here, the door that's opening for you, the momentum is really going to build. Okay, and of course with that devil energy, it's important that you keep showing up. There is some kind of an old burden. The old Ten of Wands here, there's something that's being lifted from your shoulders. There's a weight coming off of you. Does that make sense? Is there something that right now you feel is kind of like weighing you down? Or it's not maybe related to the project, but it's something else. Okay, I feel like that's being kind of lifted from you. Okay, it's important right now that you write down your goals and you remember what those goals are, and that you have somewhat of a step-by-step kind of like milestones, like have the big summit of the mountain, like what is the big goal, but then write like those milestones. Okay, you're trying to have the biggest tarot channel on YouTube, right? So you want to get the 1 million subscribers or whatever, right? Well, you got to start somewhere. So maybe you got to start with 1,000. Or maybe you start with 1, and you start with 1,000, then 10,000, then 50, and 100, and 200, and 500,000, and that's, we're on the road for 500,000 here, and I'm very happy that you've chosen to be a part of that journey. But I feel like you're on a similar journey, and I feel like there has been a little bit of a delay or a slowdown. Things are going to pick up real fast. Okay, you got a lot of really, really good cards here. I think you're closer than you think to the breakthrough. Yeah, this is your arrival moment. But let's select the hidden key from the codex, the unseen cipher, the one truth yet unrevealed. This is one card pulled at random, a fragment of the codex beyond the known spread. It represents the factor infinite and unknown, what the watchers have not yet allowed us to see. We'll put the big red ant right there on top. Now, we won't look at that hidden key until the end of the transmission, but when we do, it'll bring all the threads together, and it will confirm the prophecy, and it will close the current page of the codex. And if you feel the pulse of intuition, if the dove current is whispering to you, tell me what you sense. Leave a comment. What do you think the hidden key will reveal? Now, as we look around the room again, we see major arcana energies. Very, very good. Divine timing, a breakthrough, a doorway, a leveling up, a complete shakeup of what's going on. I mean, this is like the walls are coming down and you're zooming through. And then, of course, we have that devil energy, which is your endurance, your drive, your motivation, the engine of the car. It's kind of like your motivation is really is going to really ramp up from here. Okay, this is excellent. We have the fire, we've got some water, we've got some good water, we've got more. The more I look, the more water shows up. So this is really a very, it's a much needed relief from that burden, and it's also a very, I feel like the people that you're with right now, you're just so close with them. It's really a tight-knit group, and I don't know if this is a family thing or if it's work, school, but it feels like all are family. Like I said, there's a real tightness. And I think that you're involved with people that really appreciate each other, recognize each other, and respect each other enough where they can say, hey, I've got an idea of how we could do this better. And then everybody's like, yeah, let's hear it. Better? I like better. What can I do better? How can I do things differently? I think everybody you're involved with has that kind of attitude. And that's the right attitude, let me tell you. So you have a really good water energy. You've got a little bit of the air, which I think is perfect. It shows that there's a dialogue, okay? It shows that there's not any one idea that is kind of the best idea, or like one person's opinion means more than everybody else's. I feel that the people that you're with right now have a common goal. I feel like there is one truth here. And maybe it's just you. Maybe it's you and the world. Maybe it's you and yourself. You know, me, myself, and I, right? Maybe it's the family or the friends or whatever. But it feels like everybody is sort of rallying underneath the same banner. Okay? So you're part of some larger network, or, I don't know, a group of some kind, maybe, right? You let me know. You tell me what your story is, okay? But there's a common goal, there is a common belief, there is a core value, principle, there's a mission statement. Yeah. And I think that everybody is there serving the greater good. So I'm not any better than you, you're not any better than the next person in the group. And so we all can share the ideas. We can all, like, I don't want to say criticize each other, but we can all challenge each other and grow in our opinions and say, look, I've got an idea of how we could do it better or differently or whatever. And we can ask each other questions without taking offense. And that's a rare thing, you know. Very often in life, I think we're just trying to get along with everybody. You're in a situation now where you can be honest. Where you can trust the people around you that they'll be honest with you. And just don't take offense. You know, when somebody says, hey, I don't like what you're doing, maybe we do it different, you know. And I don't know your situation exactly, but I feel like things are really about to change. Okay. Anyway, then we have, of course, our Earth cards down here. So the Three of Pentacles is your station. This is where you are on the spiral road right now. Also, excuse my voice, we're sick. We're getting one of those end of summer colds, maybe a flu. I feel a little feverish, so don't mind me if I start rambling or sweating profusely or anything like that, or slurring my speech. This is where you are right now, and I think that you're in the middle of a project, an endeavor. This is a card of work, okay? I think you're right in the middle of trying to get something going or getting something off the ground. I feel like the ball's already rolling, but we're trying to find a way to put the pieces together just right. Okay, we're ready to kind of, ready to maybe have a grand opening, ready to to get it out there. There's something that you've been working on. It almost feels like it's not yet ready to be released to the public kind of thing. You know, it's like we're still tinkering with something. But I feel like it might be one stage in a larger journey. You know, like you're building these big systems, and this is one little problem that you've been working on in the larger system, okay? And trying to figure out the best way to do this. And I feel like you are, you're learning how to handle the Seven of Swords, learning how to handle all of the different ideas, the different opinions, the different ways that you could be putting something together right now. And you're trying to kind of come up with the best kind of, conglomerate of all those ideas, okay? That everybody in your life right now has a voice, if it's at school, work, home, whatever. Everybody's got an opinion. Okay, and I feel like in some way it is up to you to decide which opinions are going to really be heard and which ones are going to be, what ideas are going to be implemented. So that seems, the Seven of Swords is the battle. It is the test. It is the challenge. It is the riddle that is, in your life right now. And it's a lot of information, and I think it's kind of knowing which pathway to go down. Knowing which route to take to get somewhere, okay? But the route that you are choosing, because of your willingness to, listen to your navigator or, to get other opinions from the other people in the car, you're getting here. And that is amazing celebration. Okay, that is the big hooray at the end of this. So under the surface, of course, is your soul position. This is patience. This is, kind of like that part of you that knows intuitively what to do. This is the soul, right? This is what's beneath the silence. This is what your inner self, your true authentic self is telling you. Be patient. Keep doing it. Keep refining yourself. And this is exactly what we're talking about with these cards here. We're working on something. Let me put it somewhere you can see. You're working on something. I kind of wish that I could. I guess I kind of could. Just to highlight certain cards, we'll block out the other ones. You're working on something. You need to sort of gain the feedback. Okay, and then you refine what you're doing, and then you go back to work and you do it again. And then you get more feedback. See, this is a loop. This is a progress loop. Okay, we're doing the work. This is Mars in Capricorn. Capricorn's up here too, the Devil card. And Capricorn is you making progress up the mountain. Something you're trying to rise, you're trying to get something off of the ground, and everything you do, every step of the way, you then get the feedback. Okay? And that feedback allows you to refine what you're doing, make slow incremental changes, and then test it again. Okay, so maybe this is like a prototype kind of energy, right? This is that engineering vibe that I get from you. And the Seven of Swords is absolutely critical of that, because if you don't have the feedback, you're just going to say, yeah, I built it, it's perfect, whatever. You need the feedback. You need somebody around you to say, hey, that could be better. Or what about that aspect of it there? Like, you want that criticism, because you have that energy inside of you that says, we need to keep doing this again, like we need to repeat and repeat and repeat. And every time we do, every time we test it, it gets a little bit better because we're willing to have that feedback. So that's the only way that you make progress right now. Okay? This is magic, right? This is something that you're continuing to, it's a process. It's the creative process, right? And of course we have 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 is the number of magic. And this is how you are manifesting whatever your goals are right now, is by testing, getting the feedback, refining, testing again. In the background position, you have of course, the Knight of Cups. And this is usually the chain. This is kind of an ancient story or a karmic weight. Okay? And I think that there is maybe a lot of pressure on you because this is something that you really kind of vouched for. Maybe this is a relationship. Maybe this is something you're creating. Maybe it's some kind of art or some kind of a business thing or a technical thing or some kind of a product. You sort of vouched for it. And in other words, I feel like it's something that's coming out of you. This is your self on a plate, and it's kind of something that you really want it to work. You kind of need it to work because it's who you are, and it's coming from your heart, and it's an authentic expression of you. You have a passion for this. And so I think that, you're kind of the creative, maybe you're the one that's in creative control, or you're the one that sort of founded the company, or it's your band or something like that, right? Or it's your art. And so it feels like this is kind of in contrast or in conflict a little bit with our criticism card, that Seven of Swords. Because when something is coming from your heart and it's yourself in a bowl, you might not be so ready to receive the criticism, because sometimes we do take it personally. So I think that as the chain that's that's binding you, you have to make sure that you stay true to the essence and to the vision that you have, the passion that you have for whatever this is. But at the same time, you allow the criticism, you allow the voice, you allow the other information, the data, the feedback to come in. And so it's almost a balancing act there. It's a weird It's a weird paradox, right? Because this is somebody that's expressing themselves very authentically, taking their gift and presenting it to the world, and then we're getting that feedback. And so maybe you are the artist, okay? But you're working with a band, you're working with creative collaborators, maybe you're working with a producer. You're going to have to take that constructive criticism and not let it affect you personally, not let it, cast a shadow over your gift or your art or your voice or your message, but allow it to help you refine the expression of that message so that you can get to your Three of Cups. Does that make sense for you? Okay, so the taking of it personally, I think, is part of that. Up above the surface, the giant. This is your untapped power. This is, it's the divine timing. It's like, to me, it feels like this is the reading in a nutshell. This is the position that really says, like, if I had to explain the reading in one card, briefly, maybe this will be the short or something. I don't know. Maybe someone can turn this into a short. This is the essence of the reading, that your life right now is going to pick up speed, that whatever you're doing now is going to expand and grow. Profit is here and it's coming in. Spirit is opening the doors where there never were doors before. Spirit is putting the right people, places, and things on your path when and where you need them. This is it. This is that arrival moment. This is that breakthrough moment. Okay? And it's time. All of your hard work, all of your refinement, all of your patience, all of your diligence is now being rewarded by rapid progress. Okay? So, I mean, this is like somebody buys your prototype or it's, this is when you kind of, you get signed with a record label or something like that, This is where you get, let's say, recognized for the skill or the talent that you've been refining over time. Okay? This is that moment where you can say, all right, I'm going pro. This is the moment that I now can say, hey, I've made it. You're going to have to continue this process indefinitely for the rest of your life. But this is the moment, this is the breakthrough moment. And in the future position, this is beautiful. This is you with the ability to express your gift. See, this is a Cancer card, okay? This is the Knight of Cups is the sign of Cancer. The Three of Cups is Mercury in Cancer. So what I feel this is for you is that it is your ability to express your gift to the world the way you need to do it. Mercury, that magic, the performer. Yeah, the transmitter of that creative essence. Okay, you're refining the material world so that you can more accurately express what is within you. Does that make sense? There's something inside of you that needs to get out. It's your song, it's your dance, it's your voice, it's your book, it is your business, it is your whatever. Maybe you're offering a service. I don't know. Maybe you're doing some kind of healing work. Maybe you're a consultant. I don't know. Whatever it is, hospitality, whatever it is that's inside of you that needs to get out. This is you refining that, the medium through which it gets expressed, and then the Three of Cups becomes you're able to express it now, free. It's like the record company's giving you a bunch of money and saying, whatever you want to do it. It's almost like the resources aren't really as much of an obstacle as they were, or as much of a limitation. And so you're able to kind of freely express yourself the way you really need to. There aren't a lot of restrictions on you, okay? And that's part of the refinement there of doing all of this work here. And I think in a very personal way, you're refining how you express yourself. You're refining how you have a creative essence that you want to share with the world. Well, you got to learn how to play instruments or something, or like learn, the software. You learn how to use like the Final Cut Pro or something, or whatever it is. Fruity Loops or something. And that's going to be the skills and that sort of the refined technical, expertise that you need so that you can express yourself as fluidly as possible. Okay? And I think this card's also celebration. I think that this is a moment for celebration. This is kind of saying you've deserved to feel very, very good about this moment. There's going to be a lot more work to come after, but this is a beautiful thing. And you should be very, very excited. I think you're getting the recognition and you're recognizing the other people involved. It's kind of like it really is a party, okay? And I think that it's overdue. I really do. I want you to subscribe to the channel, by the way, if you haven't yet. We're going to talk about the path of the serpent and the Six of Cups. You're somebody that views your people like family. If this is your people in your band or at work, at home, at school, this is that closeness. This is that feeling like you may be the leader of the band or the boss of the company, but you treat everybody equally. Everybody's got a voice. Everybody can have their opinion. Now, you might get the final say, sure, but it's everybody feels loved. Everybody feels equal. And I think that that's the kind of culture that you want to cultivate in your life. You're not better than anybody else, and you all have different roles to play. Now, you might have that kind of executive authority, but everybody has kind of equal position. Yeah. I think that you're somebody who you have a lot of friends. I feel like you're a very genuine person. I feel like you always treat people kindly, and they remember that, and they appreciate that. I think that anybody around you right now, if you were to ask them for a favor, they would stop what they're doing and they would do you that favor. Because of you, because of how you've always treated them and how you've always been there for them, and I think that you have that effect on people. It feels like you're very important to a lot of people right now. Yeah. Now, the Tower. The Tower is in the position of the shadow. It's kind of what you tend to avoid sometimes. It could be the part of us that's buried. It's waiting to be embraced. And I think that's kind of showing that there's a little bit of a nervousness about that breakthrough. It's like when that breakthrough happens, it's like, okay, now we really got to start doing it for real now. It's if it is like you're amateur to professional or something like that, it feels like this is that moment where now the pressure's really on. Okay, like this is what we wanted. We wanted this breakthrough, but now it's like, okay, now you're going to have to do it in front of 10,000 people instead of 10 people. Does that make sense? And so it is like this blast off that we're sort of nervous about. Because, for one thing, it's going to disrupt your life. The Tower is always a disruptive card. It's always going to be things are not how they were yesterday. Today is very different than yesterday. And it may feel like, wow, overnight success. Overnight change, right? Shocking change. It's not overnight. You've been building up to this for a long time. Refining. Continuing to hone your skills and learn your craft and get good at it. Okay? And now that breakthrough is happening, it feels like, wow, this is the moment that everything is changing very quickly. Okay? And the Wheel of Fortune says it's happening whether you like it or not. This is what you've wanted. Now it's here, and you've got to step up and you've got to deal with that. Okay? It's a pivotal moment. The Tower is an exclamation point. It's saying life is going to be different from today forward. Okay? When that breakthrough happens, that's it. There's really no going back to the way things were before. Yeah. The Ten of Wands is interesting because it is a lot of responsibility. And I think this is the position of the mirage, okay, in the spread. And I think the mirage or the illusion or the lie is that it's all on you. Maybe you feel like it is. Maybe you're the leader, you're the boss, you're the founder of the company, it's your band or whatever. It may feel like everything is on your shoulders, but I think you need to remember that you have a strong team around you. You're not an island. There are people there that love you, that support you, and that they will stop what they're doing to do you a favor if you should ask. So the issue there is that you need to be able to ask for help and delegate some responsibilities. And, I think that your time is going to be much more valuable. And so it's important that you give other people some of the other tasks that you now aren't really going to be able to focus on because you have more important things to do, I do feel like there is still that kind of a personal issue that's been lingering, an old burden or something like that that's going to be lifted off of your shoulders. Okay, there's some kind of a weight that isn't there anymore that's going to allow you a lot more momentum. Okay, the Ten of Wands really is, in a way, it's like this kind of burnout energy where you maybe haven't been sleeping as much. Maybe you've been feeling much more exhausted lately, running yourself into the ground kind of with that Ten of Wands in this refinement phase and doing all this hard work. Now that you finally made it, and we're having this breakthrough, make sure that you rest, make sure you take care of yourself because there's still more mountain to climb. Okay? And that devil is that more mountain to climb. That is your destiny. That's the shape of what wants to happen. The next page waiting to be written in the codex is you climbing the mountain even further now. Continuing on this road. There's now that you're having this breakthrough, it doesn't mean you have to stop creating. No, this is when things are just getting started, Now it's really time for you to create. And I think creating in terms of very specifically whatever this is for you, but in a more abstract sense, creating the rest of your life. Now you really are going to mold what kind of life do you want to have? Because I feel like you're getting permission now to build that. To create your life. Now, let's look at the mystery card. Maybe an ace, maybe an empress. I don't think it's going to be I feel like it's going to be work. I feel like it's going to be another Three of Pentacles or something like that. If you have a prediction, please put it in the comments. Let's see. Oh, it's another Ten of Wands. Yeah, it's more work. It's more burden. It's more weight on your shoulders. Okay? But I think the idea here is that you may feel like you're alone, or it may seem in this card like you are. You've got people all around you on either side, and they're carrying an equal load. Okay? They've got 10 wands on their shoulder just like you do. And I think that it really is going to, after this breakthrough happens, there's more work to be done. It's going to require more discipline, and it's going to require more focus, and really have to kind of lock in and make sure that you are delegating the tasks that you can, because your time is very valuable. Your energy is very valuable, and make sure that you are kind of budgeting everything appropriately. Okay? I think it's going to be extraordinary. I think this is what you've been waiting for. Yeah. And now this transmission will continue beyond the gate in the extended reading. We'll cast an I Ching hexagram. We'll draw from the oracles. We will open a new cluster of keys from the codex. If you feel called to continue, the path is open. There's a link in the corner here. There's one in the video description. New readings for Sagittarius, Tuesdays and Fridays. Okay, be sure to receive both transmissions. And subscribe if you haven't yet. It aligns your signal with the dove current and ensures that the next page in the codex will find you. Leave a comment and let me know where along the spiral road you're watching from. It helps us to map the resonance of the temple. I want you to remember the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot is you. The codex reveals itself through you. I thank you and I love you, and we are all walking this path together.